testing. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and see if we get anybody in here. We're recording and we're live streaming it to YouTube. So I think it's time to get started. me find my presentation. Share my screen. Will be in a moment. There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Cindy Burns, and I am the mother to 6 grown sons, and I'm a little bit older than I look. If you want to put your guess as to how old I am in the comments, let's see if anyone's right. I am also a widow. My favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz, and my favorite color is purple, all shades, except for maroon. That's not really purple. And the next is blue, again, all shades. I give out purple hearts freely in comments and emails and wherever I can. My purpose and my passion is to help other widows. So we're going to get into this. I know I said that the name of this master class is how to be happy while grieving. Happiness is a state of being. Joy is a feeling. It's the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, or by the prospect of possessing what one desires or delight. We can choose joy. We can't always choose happiness, but joy can lead to happiness, if that makes any sense. If you have any questions at the end, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I will see if I can answer them at the end. So this was a lead magnet, not really. This was a free PDF file that I offered a while back. I've kind of changed it up a little bit, just the looks of it, and I think it's much better now. It was 11 ways widows can find joy, one moment at a time. And a moment is defined as 1.5 seconds. Now, if you have children and one of them says, "1 moment, Mom, I'll be right with you." Well, you don't even need to count to 2. They should be right with you, right? The first thing you can do to find a moment of joy is smile. The brain's a funny thing. It can't tell the difference between a real smile and a fake one. Smile causes your brain to release dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin, which regulate your mood and can make you feel happier. So the whole fake it till you make it kind of works a little bit here. If you smile even though you don't feel like it, you're going to feel better. And I mean, still don't tell a depressed person to smile. This has to be something you choose to do on your own, not because somebody told you to. Remember, there's a lot of good things in our memories. Nostalgia is a huge thing now. Um, all through the internet, you're going to find people nostalgic for the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, to me, 90s weren't that long ago. But, to somebody who was born in the early 90s, it feels like a lifetime ago. So what you do when you remember find joy, you're going to go back to your childhood and remember a place, a time, a person, or a thing that made you happy. Keep that memory in the back of your mind and bring it forward when you need a boost of joy. So one of the things, it was well before I was 10 years old, maybe like 6 or 8. I had some friends across the street from us, and they had a dollhouse. I mean, a big, walk-in house. Um, and I absolutely loved that. We would play so many different things. We'd play Hansel and Gretel. We'd play wedding. We'd play pool. We played so many things in that. And it was just a whole lot of fun. There was no stress. There was no homework. We were just being children. Um, so that helps me smile when I think about it. What about you? What makes you smile? This one's a fun one unless you're kind of an introvert, but you can still do it even if you are. Be silly. Do something fun just for the fun of it. Dance. Dance by yourself alone in your house, right? Nobody has to know. Nobody has to see you. Sing. Sing while you're doing your housework. Sing while you're getting ready in the morning or getting ready for bed at night. Just pick a song and sing. It doesn't even have to be a current song. It can be The Bear Went Over the Mountain or On Top of Spaghetti. You know, some of those old silly songs. Um, if you can't sing in your house because there's other people around or whatever, and you're just too shy to do it, get in your car, go for a drive, turn the radio on as loud as you can stand it, as long as it doesn't distract you from your driving, and just sing along to the radio. Chances are you won't be able to hear yourself because the radio will overpower you. But who knows? Jump on the bed. Now, this one, I'm afraid to do. I would break the bed. But I know some very thin, very tiny women out there who could easily jump on the bed and not have to worry about breaking it. Don't jump too close to the edge because you don't want to fall off. Read a joke book. If you don't have one, download one from Amazon. I'm sure you can even find one that's probably for free. Booksellers often offer books for free. Put your shirt on backwards or inside out. Just wear two different socks. That won't necessarily get noticed, and you can still know that you've done something a little silly that day. Yeah, anything that makes you feel kind of silly. Two different earrings. Um, you wear eyeshadows, put different color shadow on one and, doing colored shadow on each one. Right. This one's a good one. This one's a really good one. You can write a journal. You can write a letter. You can send a card or send yourself a letter or card. Do a brain dump, right? Whatever comes into your head. This one is fantastic. It can be just a word. It can be disjointed sentences. It can be just whatever pops into your head. I'm angry. Why did he leave? Um, I pray for him, his soul, if if you believe. Um, just whatever pops into your head. You know, I'm mad at my friend or, family member. Get it out on paper so that you don't have to get it out to them, to their face. All kinds of things you can do with a brain dump. It's just whatever comes into your head, you write it down. And then you can go back and read it if you want, or you can just crumble it up and throw it away. It doesn't matter. When I did my writing, when I did it mostly on the computer. It is better with a pen and pencil. It really is. But I did it in a Word document on the computer. And before I started a new day or a new entry, I would delete the old one. So I never had more than just that one entry. If there were phrases or words in it that I wanted to remember, I wanted to save because it has such a good turn of phrase, then you can copy it and post it into like Notepad or something. But for the most part, don't let don't let your feelings and your thoughts from yesterday color what you're feeling today. You know, so if you do keep a journal, try not to go back and read what you've already written. Not for a while, not for a long time. Just write what's happening now. This is another fun one. This is easy. Use color. Now think of a color that makes you smile. It doesn't even have to be your favorite. For example, my favorite color is purple, but seeing yellow makes me smile. I don't care much for yellow clothing. I don't care much for yellow cars or yellow paint on the walls. But if they're not mine and I see it on somebody else, I smile. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it reminds me of sunshine or daisies and um, sunflowers, or what's the dandelions or daffodils, any of those pretty flowers. Yeah, dandelions are a weed, but you were a kid, I bet you thought it was a flower. Try to notice your smile color throughout your day. You could maybe even make a difference. You need to do this more than once, or you choose to do it more than once. You can change up your color. You know, say make it the first color you see in the morning when you wake up. So, if you wake up and you see green walls from your bedroom, okay, green is going to be your color for the day. It's your smile color. And every time you see it, you're going to smile. And you won't have to, after the first time or two, you won't have to think it out. You won't have to remember to smile. You just will. Eat or drink. Now this one is especially good if you're a stress eater. Take time to enjoy every bite and every sip of whatever you're drinking. Pretend you're wine tasting and use every sense. Look at it. See how pleasing the colors or the shapes are. Admire the shape of it. Smell it and take note of all the different aromas. Let it roll around in your mouth so that it hits all the taste buds. Do this with every bite or every sip. If you take time to truly enjoy every bite, you probably eat less. You, you know as well as I do, the mindless shoving in your mouth of those potato chips while you're watching TV. That first potato chip tastes so good, so salty and crunchy, and just, it hits all the right notes. Second one, yeah. Third one, by then we're probably, eating them like two or three at a time, or just, we got caught up in our show. So we're just putting them in our mouths without even tasting. I've always said that the best bite of anything are the first and the last. The last one because, well, you're not going to taste it again for a while. It's the last one. But if you take the time to enjoy every bite, it really will make a difference. Create. Create whatever you want in any way you want. You can cook, you can bake, draw, color, craft. If you have some kind of a craft that you do, like paper craft or I can't think. Oh, knitting, crocheting, those kind of crafts. Scrapbook, write, play an instrument or sing. All of those things can make you feel better. It doesn't have to be good. It just needs to make you feel good, right? So what is it that you do that makes you feel good? You may not pop up with something right away. It could even be reading. I mean, that's not a creative thing, but somebody created it so you could read it, right? If you're handy with tools, make something, make a table, make a dollhouse, whatever you think you'd be good at. Don't do something that you've done before exactly the way you did it before. Change it up. If you knit or crochet, try a different pattern. Same thing with sewing. Try a different pattern and make it a little bit more challenging, but not too much that you give up on. Like I said, it doesn't have to be good. It just makes you feel good. And pray. If you pray, try not asking for anything. Just thank God for all the blessings in your life, past and present. Thank Him for helping you through this tough time. And just thank Him for listening because you do know that He listens to all our prayers. And He's there for you, even when you don't feel Him, even when you don't see Him. Yeah, are you going to get mad at God? I did. Oh, I got mad at God for taking my husband away. I yelled at him. I said, "Oh, God, I'm mad at you. Why did you have to take him?" And you know what? God loved me anyway. He loves us anyway, whether we're mad at him or not. So be grateful for, and I know it's hard. It really can be hard to be grateful during this time. But there are things to be grateful for. There are things grateful that you had your husband in your life at all. A lot of people out there, or wife, a lot of people out there never get married or never have a long-term commitment with a partner. So, thank him for allowing you to have that commitment. The next thing is meditate. It's similar to prayer, but you're not doing it. You're not praying to anyone or anything. You're just being. Now, there are apps for guided meditation. Some of them are free, some aren't. But you can do it completely on your own. Sit in a quiet and comfortable place. Maybe play some soothing music, preferably without words, an instrumental, um, calming. If you're going to listen to like classical music, the 1812 Overture, I don't think would be a good one. Find maybe something that's performed by a string quartet or something, just something peaceful. And then you sit in a quiet and comfortable place. You can even lay on your bed. Sometimes I do this before I go to sleep at night, and sometimes it puts me to sleep. You want to be comfortable. Concentrate and breathe on breathing slowly in through your nose and out your mouth. Open your mind to joy and let it fill you up slowly like water streaming into a glass. Joy doesn't come all of a sudden. It comes in little dribs and drabs. And you want to take that when and how you can get it. Laughter is the best medicine. It really is. If you can't get together with friends for whatever reason, friends that make you laugh, then turn on the TV, watch a comic on YouTube, a funny movie or a TV show that makes you laugh. Read something funny. If you need ideas on those, let me know, and I'll be happy to make suggestions. If none of that works, this one is much more fun when you do it with at least one other person. But you can do it alone, and it'll work too, most likely. So try saying out loud, ha, and then ha, ha, and then ha, ha, ha. Keep going as long as you can, adding one more ha each time. It's really great when you're doing it with others, because you lose track, you don't forget to count, and then it just sounds so stupid, you just can't help but laugh. It sounds so silly. So now that we've talked about little things you can do to make you happy, to make you smile, to bring some joy into your life, I'll tell you my story. I became a widow on August 2nd, and my family needed me, and I was there for them. I was strong. Everybody kept telling me how strong I was. I swear, if one more person had told me, there were times when if one more person had told me how strong I was going to ball up my fist and show them. I wouldn't have though. When I retired is when I really felt lost. I felt like I had no reason. I had nothing, no reason to get out of bed in the morning, no reason to continue going on. My kids didn't need me. Obviously, they wouldn't want me gone, but they didn't need me in their daily lives. And I was still grieving. I grieved for my husband and the life I thought we would have at this point in our lives. He was retired, and we had 4 really good years before he got sick. I mean, he hated his job. So when he retired, he became the man I married, the man I used to know. But I also knew something had to change. So I tried all kinds of things. I tried art classes, and I even joined the local art group. And you know what I found out? I found out I can't even draw stick figures. I mean, I knew that already, but it was hammered home to me that, art wasn't my thing. It was my husband. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to Um, and somebody had told me once, anyone can draw. They just haven't been taught the right way. Well, this one can't. I'm sorry. I tried. I tried direct sales. I sold makeup. I sold um, spices and meal blends. I sold, what else? I sold fingernail strip, and I sold my favorite one. I sold wine. I was a marketer for wine. They actually bought it from the company. I could not sell it from anything I had on hand. But there were some, I did in-home wine tasting parties, and they were so much fun. And I met so many wonderful people, and some of them I'm still friends with. So that was wonderful. Um, I didn't join that for any reason other than it sounded like fun. That's why I was there, and I stuck with it for probably a few more years than I should have. There's so much wine in this house, and now I can't drink any of it. But I knew that none of it was right. None of it was where my passion, my why for doing these things was not big enough. I knew something had to change, but it wasn't easy. I decided I needed to find a new purpose. My purpose for the last 30 plus years was being a wife and a mother. And when, the empty nest thing, it wouldn't have bothered me at all as long as he was there. And when you lose your spouse, you lose the life that you thought you were going to have together. You lose your future. And that's really difficult to realize and to admit that you've lost your future, the future you thought you would have. And now it's up to you to create a new one. And that's a scary thing. You haven't had to do that since you graduated, right? After your first job, you didn't really have to create a new life for yourself. After a lot of research and soul searching, I learned about life coaching. Through that, I was able to help myself. And through helping myself, I realized that I wanted to help others. And who better to help than other widows? It was the thing I knew best. I mean, raising kids today is different than it was when I was raising them. So that wasn't something that I'd be doing. But helping widows, I thought about it from the very beginning. Even at his calling hours, it was kind of put into my head that maybe I should blog about being a widow. And I just didn't feel I was ready for that then. But I will be starting up a blog soon. So now I'm certified as a life purpose coach, a happiness coach, and a group coach. So that's why I talk about happiness. Now, does any of this sound like you? You regularly spend all day or most of the day in bed? You turn down invitations to parties or get-togethers with friends. You feel awkward. You don't want to be a fifth wheel if it's going to be all couples. You're just not ready to laugh and have fun with other people. You feel like nobody understands. People don't understand me. Well, while it's okay to take, a day now and then and spend it in bed, you can't do it every day. Even if you only get out of bed to go into the living room and sit on a sofa or your recliner and watch TV or read a book. Change your surroundings, at least once a day. Turning down invitations to parties or get-togethers, maybe you're not even getting them. Maybe people aren't inviting you anymore. And a lot of it isn't because they don't love you anymore. They don't like spending time with you. It may be that they don't invite you out of respect for you. Maybe they don't feel that you are ready to get together with them. The best time I had after my husband died, it was a few years later. A wonderful woman from my church, she came up with the idea of an orphaned Thanksgiving dinner. And that meant anybody who didn't really have any place else to go and would, otherwise just be sitting home, maybe eat the TV dinner before they, for their Thanksgiving. And that was me. The two sons that lived with me both had to work. And I had nothing. And I was ready, I was fine with the idea of just, it's another day. But when I got invited to that, it was so much fun. There were about 14 of us, and some I knew, but I didn't know well. There were a couple, I knew them from church. I knew they went to my church, but I didn't even know they were married to each other. They were. I learned so much about myself and about the other people that day. We made a whole day of it, and then we made up plates out of the leftovers, put them in the fridge at church, and came back the next day to finish up our leftovers and work on jigsaw puzzles. And it was so much fun. We took turns with jigsaw puzzle too. There were usually 3 of us working on it, and somebody would get up to go maybe get another glass of wine or, talk to somebody else, and somebody would swoop in and take their place. Move your seat, lose your seat. It was a wonderful day. We haven't done it again because of COVID. I'm wondering if we're ready to do it again this year. Okay, just imagine what your life would be if you had a reason to get out of bed. You had the confidence to face others and be around other people. You had a friend who's been where you were. I was 54 when I became a widow. I didn't know any other widows other than my mother, and it had been 10 years for her. So she gave me a list of books that helped her, but I just wasn't in the reading about it kind of frame of mind. I didn't go to any groups. I told myself I just didn't want to sit there in a room full of other crying people. And because I knew that would cause crying jag for me. And I like to cry, especially in front of other people. So I suffered through it alone. It was strange. It was weird. But in my program for widows and widowers, you start out learning first you start out managing your grief. There's no cure for it, unfortunately. You never get over it completely. You just learn how to live with it. And it's not, gradually it becomes less painful. Although there are times when it'll just kind of pop up out of nowhere. You wonder, you'll start crying for kind of no reason at all and wonder where it came from. Because you're still grieving. Or sometimes it'll be, the date of their death, or your birthday, or your wedding anniversary. And those are hard dates. And they don't get easier when it's been 10 years or so. some years are better, some years are fine. And so you go into the next year thinking you're going to be just fine, and you're not. It's unpredictable. Grief is unpredictable when it rears its head. So you don't know for sure when it's coming. But in in my program, I will help you manage it. I will help you to find ways to deal with it, new ways of looking at it. And when it comes time, when you're ready, when you are past that first initial gut-wrenching active grief, then we can talk about learning who you are and what your passions are and what your purpose is in this new life. Once you know your purpose, that's the learn. Once you know your purpose, it's time to figure out how to achieve it. And there we'll construct a plan. If it means taking some classes in order to get to your dreams. Maybe it will entail getting a whole new degree or finishing a degree that that you had started. We'll plan out how to do that. You don't have to figure it out all by yourself. And now that you know what you need to do and how to do it, it's time to take action. Take the actions needed to live that life of passion and purpose. And then you've grown, just like the flowers. It's winter, you think it's winter, and it's always going to be, and nothing's ever going to come alive again. And then comes spring and summer. And you're living your passions and purpose and growing into who you are meant to be at this time in your life. Of life. Congratulations. You've graduated. You're living the life that's right for you. Will there be pain? Will there be sorrow? Will there be pockets of grief? Yes. I'm not going to lie. Yes, there will. But will there also be joy, sense of satisfaction, a smile on your face more often than not, even when you're alone, when you think about the day? Yeah, that'll happen too. It'll be a good day. Now, I don't have a slide for this, so I'm just going to talk and tell you that I think you're wonderful, and I would love to work with you. If you would think you would like to work with me as well, we can do a Zoom call, just you and me, and talk about what that would look like, what working with me would look like. I have several options, so we can find whatever suits you the best. And to get in touch with me, the best way is to contact me through Facebook Messenger, the direct messaging through Messenger. Because I check that more often than I do my email. And even if we're not Facebook friends, I'll see it. I know how to get into that other folder, so I can see what's going on there. And you can always visit my website, which is www.cindyjburns.com. It's a work in progress, people. It's not how I want it, but it will be hopefully soon. So give me a few weeks at least. Right now, it's basically just a sales page. Isn't the best. But yeah, that's another way to get in touch with me. You can email me, And my email address is Cindy, Cindy, at cindyjburns.com. So there's a few ways to get in touch with me. If you go to um, cindyjburns.com slash, I don't know if it's Greek journal or just journal. I'll post the link in comments because I can't remember for sure. But you can get a copy of a guided grief journal. It'll give you prompts like, write a letter to him today. It's very pretty. If you want more pages, you can, print doubles or triples or quadruples of what you see there. It's a really nice thing. If you would like to see the e-booklet that has all the ideas from today, the ways you can find joy, that one I know. Oh no, I don't, because I took it down. You let me know, and I'll send you the e-booklet. Okay. Eventually, it's all going to go under a tab on my website that says free stuff, but it's not there yet. And I also invite you to join my widow and widower support group, Finding Purpose. It's Widows and Widowers Support Group, Finding Purpose. And please answer all the questions. They're all required, mainly for safety and security of the people, of the current members. Just once you're in and you start sharing, private things, private thoughts and feelings, you're not going to want just anybody popping through. So when I have all your information, I can kind of make sure you're who you say you are and not some plot or stranger or, somebody out to scam anybody. So answer all the questions, because if you don't, I'm going to have to decline it. Now, generally when I decline, unless there's a good reason other than not answering the questions, something that makes me feel that you're kind of skeevy, which I'm sure you're not. If you're watching this all the way through to the end, you're not skeevy. But just to make sure, I will also send you a direct message through Facebook Messenger explaining why I had to decline you. But if we're not Facebook friends and you don't know how to go in and find those messages, you'll never see it. So if you apply to be a member, and you don't get anything within 24 hours max. On the weekends, I try not to work. Doesn't always work, but I try not to work. Then send me an email at Cindy at cindyjburns.com. And I'll look into it. Maybe I forgot, maybe I didn't see it yet. Maybe it got lost in the ether of the internet, or maybe there was a reason for me having to decline it. So thank you all so much for listening to me, for being here. And I look forward to talking with you at some point. Bye-bye.